Hey guys, for foreigners living in Japan, we have occasions where we have to have official documents witnessed. So you guys know the examples. Maybe you need to have your driver's license at home renewed, or your passport renewed, or you're selling a house in your home country, or some official document from your home country that you need to sign and it needs to be witnessed. And different countries have different systems, but they're sort of similar. So some Commonwealth countries have what they call Justice of the Peace. America and perhaps Canada have Notaries. So there's different systems in different countries, but they're sort of similar in that there's some official person who's been approved by the government to sign official documents. Now, in our home countries, that's not such a big deal. You can usually go to your local bank or sometimes post office or someplace like that, and you can have someone sign these documents. But if you're a foreigner in Japan and you get an official document like that from home and it needs to be witnessed, it can be a real hassle. And often foreigners here contact each other. Hey, do you know an American notary in Japan, or do you know an Australian J.P. in Japan? And it's a real hassle. We can go to our embassies and consulates and have them signed there, but unless you happen to be living in Tokyo or sometimes Osaka, throughout the rest of Japan, it can be a real hassle, which can mean spending hundreds of dollars traveling to Tokyo just to get a signature on a piece of paper. So it's a bit of a pain. And then we looked into this, and surprisingly, the embassies don't have lists of JPs and notaries in Japan. So even though there might be in your little town or your little city in Japan that you happen to be living in, there might be a notary or a JP living down the street, you won't know because there's no list anywhere. So we think that's insane, and we're very surprised by that. So we're compiling a list. We're going to use our English-friendly Japan directory, and we're going to compile a list on there of all the JPs and notaries from different countries, because of course you need a notary from your own country, and we're going to put a list on there. Now just clarify one thing. Many countries will actually recognise a Japanese notary. So in other words, there's Japanese lawyers and solicitors that are registered notaries as well, and they can often sign documents for your home country. The problem is that most of them don't understand foreign systems, and for example, we contacted one. This is what triggered this video. We contacted a Japanese notary to ask him if he'd sign an Australian land contract for a house that we sold in Australia, and it was a big deal. First he was talking about having it all translated into Japanese so he could understand it, which would be a huge mission and would take a long time. Usually when you need these signatures, you need them soon, so that wasn't practical. And then he was talking about stamps. Bring your hanko so we can stamp it. And of course, if we stamp it with our hanko and send that back to our country, that's not what they want. They want a signature. So even though legally Japanese notaries can help you with this, the reality is that it's a huge hassle, takes a lot of time, probably costs you a lot of money, and might end up in resulting in something that's not useful to you anyway. So that's why we want this list, because usually when people have these documents, they need them signed soon. So what we're doing is we're going to use our English-friendly Japan directory to list the notaries from different countries. So we want them from Australia and Canada and America, all the English-speaking countries, the UK, all the English-speaking countries, and we want to list them on there in the city that they're in, and we're going to note on there whatever information they're prepared to give us. So if they don't want to give us their home address, we totally understand that. All we really need is their name and an email contact, and then we'll list them under what city that they're in, and we'll put a note next to their name to say what country that they're a notary for, or a JP for, and also what state, because some countries have different notaries and different JPs that are approved just for their state. So the end result should be that we should be able to compile a fairly comprehensive list, which is why we made this video. We need your help. So if you're in Japan, or even if you're not in Japan, we're asking people to spread this video to as many people as you know. And we're asking JPs and notaries to use the Contact Us button on the English-friendly Japan directory to contact us, and we'll make sure that all their details are listed on the directory. Now, of course, we're not going to charge them anything for that, because obviously they're doing this thing to help other people. So we're not going to charge anybody anything to do any of this. We're just going to get their names onto there so that when people need a JP or a notary, they can contact them. So please spread this video around all the people you know, particularly people that are in Japan and looking for JPs and notaries that are here long term. Of course, if they're only here for 3 months, it's not really much point. But the JPs and notaries that are in Japan that are here long term, they're the people we want. So please help us find those people, track them down and get them to contact us through the English Friendship Directory. Thanks for your help with that. More videos coming soon.